the news we crave. Under neon lights we take a stand. Knights and wizards across the land.
Good morning and welcome, my podlings. It is 8 o'clock on the dot here at Site B. It is another gloomy Friday, even though it's the 25th day of July. Yeah. And what do we do at Friday? We take a walk to our local game shop and take a look at what's new on the shelves. But don't take my word for it. If I mention something that sounds like something you want to push up, what? If I mention something that sounds like something you want to pick up, please call ahead and make sure your game shop has it in stock. And if they don't, ask them if they can special order it. At which point, with everything going on with Diamond and everything else, they'll probably point at you and go, special order? Ha! But anyways, it's very important to try and do our best to keep our little mom and pop brick and mortar game shops open because of everything's going on. So yeah, we need to support them. So let's take a look and see what, if anything, is worth our hard-earned pogs this week. Share screen. RPG vision. Oh, and I see Liminal in the title. Liminal. Interesting. All right. From Space Penguin Inc., we have Ex Infernus for Liminal Horror. This is $15. The PCs are searching the water for the lost ships. 7 years ago, it disappeared. You're trying to go find it because they're getting a distress signal from the book. It's an Event Horizon as a modern day nautical horror. I think they already did that with a movie called Ghost Ship. But hey, yeah, liminal. I don't know how a boat is liminal, but okay. Yeah. Or maybe that's the name of the system, liminal horror. Not that it's trying to duplicate liminal horror. Yeah, I guess maybe the game is called liminal horror. Does liminal really work as a role-playing game? I mean, it barely works as a video game genre. It's definitely something you really have to buy into because when you realize the ridiculousness of the premise, but I mean, yeah, imagine being alone at night in a mall. That's probably the closest thing, to liminal, or just walking down the behind the scenes stuff at the access corridors, which I've done. I've been alone, at 3 o'clock in the morning in a mall, walking down the access corridors because of Black Friday. And I guess it could be frightening. I don't know. It just seems more boring. And I don't know how that would translate to a role-playing game, because first you'd have to be very, very monotone in order to build up that sense of not only just never-ending, nonstop the exact same thing, but just the hint of there's something frightening about this place. So you have to talk like this, and you see ahead a hallway. At the end of the hallway is another hallway. You can continue down that hallway or go to your left down yet another hallway. No, they all look the same. Oh my God, what's that? And you get eaten and die. But hey, my feelings for boats and islands and haunted boats. So anything with that, I'm down for. And I mean, Event Horizon, Amityville Horror in Space. From Goodman Games, we have Hell Pits of Night Fang, and Hell Pits of Night Fang. One for Dungeons and Dragons, one for DCC. I don't think they need to be separate product. The stats are basically the same, right? That's an adventure for high-level characters for DCC. Really? Does anybody in DCC live that high? I mean, sure, for D&D, yeah, but... let's see, so we have basically something dealing with, looks like a witch, and some hell pits, and some sinkholes, and a house of terrors. So yeah, just a classic, spooky, go down and investigate, horrible things happen, dungeon crawl for D&D and Dungeon Crawl Classic. From Kobold Press, we have Labyrinth World Book and Labyrinth Adventures. This is for Tales for the Valiant. The Labyrinth connects worlds with hidden pathways and roads visible only to a few, while the all-consuming void seeks a way in. Covers 10 new subclasses, exploring the world of dream and dread and void and the hurtling this weird nether space of the labyrinth. So think Planescape, sort of. From Goodman Games, we have the Sacred Pyre of Thracia, the Alabaster Tower of Thracia, and Grave Robbers of Thracia. I wonder if these have something to do with Cavern of Thracia. They do have something to do with Cavern of Thracia. They're all $11, and they all seem to continue with the story of Cavern of Thracia, which was sort of this weird, this great dungeon by Janelle. Starting with the 0 level funnel, working way all the way up to 1st and 2nd level characters, dealing with the Cult of the Dark One, healing with the after effects of Caverns of Thracia, and all the other stuff. So that should be interesting, considering how awesome Cavern of Thracia is and what an important part it plays in tabletop role-playing game history. And yeah, so definitely got to support that. And only $11. From Perplexing Ruins, we've got Fallen and Hilgarb. Uses for a 2d6 system. Fallen is a dark fantasy RPG set in a supernatural 17th century where you've got to deal with haunted mills, headless horsemen, and all those other things from the 17th century. And Hilgarb is a city of science, mystery, superstition, commerce, intrigue, and trade that all thrive there, built on the ruins of a previous city before it. So you've got ghosts and the city trying to modernize and people who don't want to modernize it, and just a generic sort of weird take on a city built on top of a city, which is, how these things usually happen in the Middle Ages. Somebody builds a castle, village buildings appear around the castle gets abandoned for whatever reason. People start taking the bricks from the castle to build more houses. Eventually the next city is built on the ruins of the last city. Then there's a flood, and then it happens all over again. Yeah. So yeah, all these should be available at the shelves of your friendly local game store, but don't take my word for it. God, I cannot talk today. Don't take my word for it. Give them a call, or better yet, go on over and ask them if they have it in stock. And if they don't, they can special order it for you. Continuing the story of Caverns of Thracia sounds awesome. Thank you for shining the light on Caverns of Thracia and Janelle's hard work, as always. Dungeon Crawl Classic. Planescape for Tales from the Valiant, keeping the idea of Planescape or the interdimensional labyrinth alive if you don't want to give Wizards of the Coast the money but still want to explore that premise for $60. More Dungeon Crawl Classic love, can't go wrong there, unless we're still mad at them. And then Liminal on a boat horror, spooky haunted boat, Amityville horror on a boat, ghost ship, Queen Mary, which is frightening. Halloween's coming up. How can you not love it? Yeah. That's everything that's available this week, or should be available this week, on the shelves of your friendly local game store. But as always, wash, rinse, repent. Don't take my word for it. Call them and ask them if they have it in stock. Have a great week. I am the OGGM. If you appreciate this content, let me know. If you never want to hear me talk about this topic ever again, let me know. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe yet, please like, share, and subscribe. It helps me out. And don't forget, I have merch available for sale on DriveThru for $12. I've got the only superhero role-playing game for SHADOWDARK, Vigilantes for SHADOWDARK. And I've got my take on the twisted post-apocalypse reality that is the Tales from the Pog Wars. Yeah. See ya.